Okay, we're looking at your worksheet where you have to fill in the unit circle. It's the pink sheet that I gave you in class. First of all, we're going to look at your quadrants. Forgive me that that's not a straight line down through there. Okay, in the first quadrant, as you know, your signs are positive, positive. In the second quadrant, you're negative, positive. In the third quadrant, it's negative, negative. And in the fourth quadrant, you are positive, negative. Now, as you know, this is 0 pi. Over here, we have pi units. At your 90-degree mark, that's pi over 2. And then you can break this up. You can look at this in several different ways. If you look at this angle right here, we're talking about this triangle right here, that is our 45 degree triangle. In a 45-degree triangle, you have a 90 degrees, you have 45 and 45. Your radian measure is always 1 in your unit circle. Well, 45 degrees and 45 degrees means that our sides are the same length. So here, this is our x value, and this is our y value. As far as our purple triangle here, well, we also know that x and y are equivalent. They are the same. So with that said, we could say x squared plus, and replace x for y, x squared equals 1 squared. So if I want to solve this for x, combine my like terms, 2x squared equals 1, x squared equals 1 divided by 2. And then take the square root of both sides. So when I take the square root of both sides, the square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 2 is 2. Well, I want to get rid of the square root of 2 in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply the square root of 2, top and bottom. That will rationalize my denominator and get that radical out of the denominator, leaving me the square root of 2 over 2. Because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So my x value here is the square root of 2 divided by 2. And my y value is the same. So that's also the square root of 2 over 2. The ordered pair for 0 pi is 1, 0, because this radian measure here all the way is 1, and the ordered pair at pi over 2 is 0, 1. So that only leaves me 2 ordered pairs left in the first quadrant that I need to determine. So if I got my blue triangle here, that's 60 degrees. This is going to be 90, and this is your 30-degree angle. Okay, so if my radian measure here is 1, the side across from 30 degrees is going to be half of the 60 degrees. Well, if I thought about, well, this is an equilateral triangle. Let's say this is equilateral. An equilateral, that would be 30, that would be 60, and this would be 60, right? So if this is an equilateral triangle, if this side is 1, then this side would be 1, and this whole side would be 1. Well, half of 1 is a half. So let's look at breaking this up a little bit. All right, so I have 1 here, I have a half here. I just need to figure out this y value. So using the Pythagorean theorem, I could figure out that y value. 1/2 squared plus y squared equals 1 squared. So that gives me 1/4 plus y squared equals 1. So y squared equals, what's 1 minus a fourth? 3/4. Well, when you take the square root of both sides, that gives me y equals the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 4 is 2. So my y value is going to be the square root of 3 over 2. My x value is going to be 1/2. And this is for a 60, 30, 90 triangle. So my ordered pair here is 1/2 and the square root of 3 over 2. Now for the green triangle, where I have 30, this would be a 60, and a 90, the only thing that has changed is the sides are changing, because 60 degrees, the side across from 60 degrees was my y value here, and that would be a 30 degrees for that. That would be my x value. So the only thing I need to do is swap the x and y values for the 30, 60, 90 triangle. So that's the square root of 3 over 2 and a half. That is how you find all the ordered pairs for the first quadrant of your unit circle.